I'm doing this kind of a sincere, maybe some somber, I don't know, just a weird, kind of personal. I'm not really tore up inside much because I didn't know the the guy like a friend or really a relative or whatever. But many years ago, when I came to Oklahoma, um, that's back when Kevin Trudeau was doing his book Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. I was pretty sick. I had some bad habits. I didn't feel good really, even though I was working out and stuff. And uh, after praying, I the book Natural Cures. So it just it came to me immediately, and it's like when you're talking to people, just the answers start hitting. And this store right here wasn't too far from where I lived. Let me see. It's a computer image, but anyway, it's a Meridian Avenue Nutrition in Oklahoma City, and a lady named Nell was working there. I guess you could say they're Christian people. Nell was a good old lady, and there was this fellow that was in and out all the time, but he worked there. His name was I just knew him as Doc, and occasionally I heard his name was Lou and stuff. This was probably 2007, I think it was. But never really met him much. Sometimes he was in there by himself, and he was always promoting Shaq Lee, of course. But I think before 2007, I started hearing a guy on the radio called Cass Ingram, Dr. Cass Ingram, who was a major proponent of oil of oregano by North American Herb and Spice. So this is where I mostly always went. Well, I kept calling recently, and I know their hours were kept changing, and the lady answered the phone, and she basically told me what you read right there. That Dr. Lou Phillips passed away, but it wasn't, a sudden thing. Said he lived probably 20 years more than expected because he had had bone cancer, Crohn's disease, or whatever. I don't know what caused it, but I want to give you a little image of him. It's kind of right here, I guess. I don't know if they. I think, yeah, it looks like him, but he's from the side. It looks like he's got a little powder on. I can't tell if they put makeup on for the show or not. It's just the color of the camera at that time. Yeah, he was a wealth of knowledge. One day I go in there and he's got his own personal bottle of, I guess you could say, peppermint oil, spearmint, tea tree oil mixed up. He couldn't sell it, legally, but he gave me a little bit of it, and you can spray it in your mouth, like kind of, let's say, chloroseptic, I think it is, but it's all natural, and that stuff right there would unstop. I'll tell you what, that stuff would unstop you if you were chugged up, instead of Vicks Vapor Rub. But yeah, he would talk to you. He seemed a very, I can't say antsy, I guess you could say antsy, but maybe hard of hearing a little bit, and he was just a very fast little fella. But I just want to share that with you to, even, well, I think I'm going to cry. Yeah, I'm sad because, you just, the people that God has uh, you know, they're not important per se, personally, I guess, every day, but everybody's here for a reason, for somebody, when you need help. God always has somebody there for you to help. And I don't know why I'm getting choked up. I'm just blessed and amazed at the testimony that I could share with the world. I remember having a Shih Tzu about 5 years old, and I got some. I won't share it with anybody because you might try it at home, but it's not for you, But it worked for me. It was herbs and stuff, as the Bible says. I got it from this store with a little extra wisdom of not my own, but from other stuff that I didn't get from the store. Had a Shih Tzu that was going to die and had a blood transfusion. And it looked good for a couple of days, and he was going to die again. And then I prayed and asked God, hey, these are your creatures too, and give me 5 more years out of this dog, at least. And that's when it hit me what to do, only by divine revelation. And gave the dog some supplements, and about 2 days later he was pretty much perfect, back to normal. And then 5 years later, that dog was still alive. And I don't know how long after that, but the person I was with at that time was her dog, and he kept living, probably 8 more years after the near death. But I just wanted to share that little story. And I've also heard about something that I don't know if it was what I needed at the time. I don't get paid for this, but the information that God shared with me and that God shared with this man, we called him Doc Lou Phillips. Not Lou Diamond Phillips, okay? Don't get them confused. I heard about this thing called Plaque Man years ago. There's the name of it. It's famous here in Oklahoma. It's if you go to that right there, thegospelstation.com, or just type in Plaque Man, Oklahoma. If you know anybody, just perhaps that might work for them if they are sluggish, if they've been diagnosed with, clogged arteries or whatever. Over a year ago, I think it was early January 2022, I felt not so fresh. I don't know if I even had clogged arteries, but I just wasn't feeling so fresh. And I was in great shape, according to my knowledge. But I just knew that I wasn't. I was just feeling weak. Didn't think it was the C19, you know what I'm saying? but I just didn't have the muster. And I started taking this, and you know, got back to normal immediately. But these are natural things that God has made for us to cleanse us out. I am not anti-pharmaceutical per se, but when we get sick, the common habit of society is to run to their nearest professional that doesn't know you from Adam. They might know symptoms. They might prescribe they got a script, so they have to prescribe what's on the script. They're basically scribes and Pharisees. They can only go by what's written down. I can't give medical advice, but I'm telling you, when you pray, you are with yourself 24/7. Nobody knows you better than you and the creator of your soul and the creator of your body. So I'm telling you, when you pray and you're patient, God can provide the answer. Sometimes it's by fasting, which in biblical terms means don't eat something. If you want to not twist it, but look at it logically, it can mean quit eating crap. Sometimes those demons come out by praying and fasting. You pray about it, you quit eating the junk, the poisons, the toxins, and think about the herbs that God give you, okay? And you can be healed. You can be delivered. It takes patience, but many a times we run to another man and Big Pharma's wisdom, and many times we wind up hurting ourselves more because we didn't go to God first. There's even scripture about that. If I want to recall, I think it was some king and his foot. I don't remember, but because he didn't go to God first, there was a problem. So always seek God first. Sometimes it's so simple. You may have to try what's commonly known as unorthodox techniques. Try this, try that. Just don't hurt yourself. You know what I mean? Like I said, seek God first. I know in my cases, in my mentality, that many times you think, if it's bad, or if I go to the doctors, death is almost certain. So you can be your own test subject. Many times that's really good. It really does. Anywho, I just want to at least encourage everybody to stay healthy. And y'all don't know this, Doc Lou here, but he was can't get a good image. Meridian Avenue Nutrition, but like she said over here, where'd it go? Just want to let everybody know that they will be shutting its doors March the 4th, which is, time is it? Yeah, it was yesterday. Long history with that place. A little small store, but had a big impact. The guy was on the radio. Dr. Cass Ingram was on the radio with him. Oil of oregano is like garlic times 10. It's just by North American Herb and Spice. Don't tell anybody, but I've been known to rub it in my nose. Breathe it in, rub it on your feet. Spider bites, bug bites. Yeah, a lot of good things. in there, in my opinion, but I just want to stress the importance of praying, being kind to people, you know, getting to know people and realizing how important even the most strange people in certain places are, how important they really are in your world. Many times it's 20/20 hindsight. You look back and say, if this hadn't happened, you call it butterfly effect. But the way that the pieces fall into place, if it's like if you're delayed going somewhere, and on your way there you see a major wreck that's being worked and stuff. It's like if you had been there, if that one little small thing had changed, that could have been you. People are important. Everyone is, all souls belong to God. I don't know. Be kind one to another. Don't be afraid to pray, and even ask somebody for advice, or don't hide. Don't be bashful, shame. Don't let God come up to you and say, who told you you were naked? Reveal it all unto God. Pray about everything, even if it's embarrassing. If you'd be embarrassed to tell it to somebody else, or if the public knew, tell it to God, because He's got an answer somewhere. It could be in a person. It could be in knowledge. It could be in something you just discover because it hit you like a light bulb. Patience. Patience, I tell you. Wait on the Lord. And it's about all I got for now. I hope you listen to it all. Share that information with a friend about Plaque Man. I don't get any money out of it. Plaque Man, oil of oregano. There's plenty of other knowledge out there that I would love to share with somebody, but like I said, what works for me or you, we can't evangelize the world with home remedies and stuff like that, because it's just not right. Believe me, when I first discovered some of these things that worked for me, I wanted to share it with the world, but then wisdom hit me. And it's like, same reason you can't share your prescription drugs with somebody else, because they haven't been, studied by the great physician. So what works for you, God knows them better than you. They know their bodies better than you. What worked for you, even though it's healthy, won't work for them, because it's not what they need to take. And what you eliminated and fasted may not be their case. So there's a lot of witchcraft, to be honest with you, in oils, essential oils, and even this nutritional Healy stuff, It could work. It's God-given knowledge, but a lot of it's been abused. So just use wisdom and pray always. Be kind one to another.